Well, we haven't uploaded a video in quite some time. We decided to start doing videos again and start uploading them on a weekly basis. So the first one that we thought we would do is to give an update on the status of cruising. So let's talk about it. Hey everybody, before we get started, if you don't know who I am, I'm Bruce with Ocean Travel. If you do like cruise news, cruise tips, cruise vlogs, hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so every time that we upload new videos you will be notified. And we do plan on uploading new videos every week. So let's talk cruising. As you know, we have not been cruising for a little over 9 months. But that changed about a month ago when the MSC Grandiosa started cruising in the Mediterranean. And they have not had any issues on that ship. So that is a good sign. This week, Royal Caribbean's Quantum of the Seas started cruising out of Singapore. Now you must be from Singapore to get on that cruise ship, but they have about 1,000 passengers plus crew members on that ship. That is also a good sign, and we're rooting for them and watching them, and hopefully everything goes good. Now let's talk about here in the United States. There is some good things happening. Ships are starting to come back into U.S. waters. Carnival Horizon is at the Port of Miami right now, going through their protocols and everything that they have to do so that they can start cruising with passengers again. 13 Carnival Cruise Line ships picked up 160 crew members out of Nassau, Bahamas on November 28th. They arrived about 6:30 a.m. on a private chartered flight from Amsterdam and went through medical, immigration, and customs requirements, including a COVID-19 test before they could board any ships. Once they passed those protocols, they went straight from the airport to the port, got on ferry taxis, and went to their various ships to board. So that's a good sign because those ships are headed to the United States. Now, as most of you know, the CDC put out a no-sail order in March, which stopped all cruising in U.S. waters. That no-sail order ended on October 31st, and they came out with a new document, which is a conditional sail order. That document, which I have right here, is 40 pages, and it's pretty intensive. A lot of stuff in there, and there is a lot of things that cruise lines need to do to be able to cruise again. But it is at least giving them a pathway so they can start cruising again. Now there is a lot of speculation and a lot of things out there that the CDC is attacking the cruise industry unfairly and holding them to a higher standard. And that may be true, looking at how airlines have been able to go and, restaurants and hotels and everything like that. But this document, we're going to hold at face value, and I'm going to read their statement of intent of what this document is intended to do. So I'm just going to read it. It's not very long. On this statement, it says that this order shall be interpreted and implemented in a manner as to achieve the following paramount objectives. 1, preserving human life. That's a good thing. 2, preserving the health and safety of cruise ship crew members, port personnel, and communities. 3, preventing the further introduction, transmission, and spread of COVID-19 into and throughout the United States. Preserving the public health and other critical resources of federal, state, and local governments, preserving hospital, healthcare, and emergency response resources within the United States, and maintaining the safety of shipping and harbor conditions. So that is the intent of this 40-page document, and those things are good. What we are going to be doing is discussing some of the things that's in this document of what cruise lines need to do so that they can start cruising with their passengers once again. In this document, the CDC does acknowledge the cruise industry has taken steps to improve their public health response to COVID-19. Royal Caribbean Group and Norwegian Cruise Line assembled a healthy sail panel of subject matter experts from a variety of disciplines on how to address COVID-19 on the cruise ships. The World Travel and Tourism Council, also known as the WTTC, and Carnival Corporation hosted a global science summit on COVID-19 designed to inform practical, adaptable, and science-based solutions for mitigating COVID-19. And I did actually watch that panel, and it was good. MSC Cruises further established its own industry-led panel with competency to review policy initiatives, technical innovations, or operational measures related to COVID-19. The CDC does intend to take a phased approach to resuming passenger operations. And here is what those phases include. Establishment of laboratory testing of crews on board cruise ships in U.S. waters. Conduct simulated voyages designated to test a cruise ship operations ability to mitigate COVID-19 on cruise ships. A certification process. And then return to passenger voyages in a manner that mitigates the risk of COVID-19 introduction, transmission, or spread among passengers and crew on board ships and ashore to communities. To start with, each of these ships will have to be approved by the CDC to do test cruises. The cruise ships can have volunteers to participate in these test cruises, but there are requirements that the volunteers would have to pass before they could be approved as a volunteer. And those requirements are that the cruise line would have to notify the volunteer that they are going on a simulation of unapproved and untested health and safety protocols. All volunteers would have to be at least the age of 18. They would also have to get a letter from their health provider stating that they have no pre-existing medical conditions that would place them at risk for COVID-19. They would also have to be screened and tested to show that they do not have COVID-19. The cruise ship must show embarkation and debarkation procedures, including terminal check-in. All crew and passengers must be tested for COVID-19 at the embarkation and debarkation. This means that there are going to have to be laboratories at the cruise ports so that they can get these tests done in a quick, timely manner. And these are going to be those quick tests that you've heard in the news and everything. I think it takes about 2 hours to get those results back. Each cruise ship must meet standards of hygiene, face coverings, and social distancing for passengers and crew members, as well as ship sanitation and cleansing and disinfecting. Onboard activities, including at dining room and entertainment venues, would also have to be able to implement social distancing. The cruise ship must modify its meal service and entertainment venues to facilitate social distancing during these test cruises. And what they implement on these test cruises would be implemented at the beginning of normal cruising. Then they have to show evacuation protocols and procedures if there were cases on one of the ships. They would have to show the transfer of systematic passengers and crew members, and for anyone that tested positive for COVID-19, from cabins to isolation rooms. And these isolation rooms would have their own bathroom and everything, so that they're completely isolated from anybody else. They would also have to show how they were going to quarantine all remaining passengers and non-essential crew members. The cruise could be ended early to simulate a breakout on the cruise ship. So they'll have to show, so they'll probably have those test cruises ending early. So say they're saying that they're going to have a 4-day cruise, but that cruise may only end up being 2 days, and they're going to have to stop it and simulate what would happen if they would have a breakout on that cruise line, on that cruise ship. It could take more than one test cruise for a ship to receive their COVID-19 conditional sailing certificate to start cruising with passengers again. Now, it does say in this document that if a threshold of COVID-19 is detected on board a cruise ship during one of their voyages, that the voyage will be ended immediately and the ship must return to its debarkation port, and that travel returning home for those passengers may be restricted or delayed until everyone is tested, quarantined, and all that before they can go home if there is a breakout on a ship. Now, the problem with this is that it doesn't state what that threshold is. It's very generic. So it doesn't say, is that 10 passengers, 20 passengers, 30, 50 passengers, 1%, 2%, 10%. It doesn't say what that threshold is. So they are going to have to work that out, and there's going to have to be a standardized of what that threshold is. And the CDC is going to have to, let the cruise lines know what that threshold is, so they know, when to stop their cruise and head back to port. But I'm sure that they will get all of that worked out. So that's kind of where we are right now. But there is, if you will, a light at the end of the tunnel. And there is a lot of positiveness that's going on right now, and the cruise lines are working hard. Now, I know that a lot of people are disappointed and have been continually disappointed with cruises that have been canceled. Some more were just announced yesterday and today. And a lot of people are disappointed and upset, but you got to realize this is not the cruise line's fault, or anyone's fault for that matter. They just have to make sure that they're able to get all these protocols in place. That's going to be a requirement so that they can start cruising again. And I am giving the cruise lines the benefit of the doubt, and we all need to trust them. We need to, let them get all of their procedures put in place so that we can all be out there cruising again. And we will be. We will be, and I think it's going to be sooner than later. And the other good thing is we do have the vaccines coming out, and so that is also going to help with us being able to get back out cruising, I believe. Anyways, that's where we are now. Thank you for watching. And as you go out there, whether it's cruising or other traveling, other vacations, a lot of people are doing all-inclusive vacations right now and stuff, getting out there. Just remember to be safe. Safe travels. And one day soon, we will see you out there.